It's your boy Ricardo Fuller with his first ever YouTube video. And if you're wondering what I post football and basketball videos, Madden, and NBA 2K videos. For today's video, I'll be talking about my top 15 NBA players in my opinion. Drop a comment down below if you agree or disagree with this list. And I'll let the intro play.
I told her to fly and she scared of the virus. I sent her a private to get here. I made $400 off each of these pounds. I ain't tripping, it's gonna be a good year. Solomon driving while I got my hands on the chopper. I'm keeping my eyes in the review. I'm from Atlanta.
To start with my top 15 list, at number 15, I have Ben Simmons. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 14.8. Rebounds per game, 7.6. Assists per game, 7.1. Field goal percentage is 54.5. His 3-point percentage is 30%. And his free throw percentage is 61.5%. And his player comparison, in my opinion, is Magic Johnson. And here are my reasons on why he's the 15th best player. Okay. Now I know I have him over players of Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, Westbrook, Rudy Gobert, and etc. and more. So he's tall. He in my opinion, he's a defensive player of the year candidate. He can rebound the ball. He can pass the ball really well. That's probably the two best aspects of his game behind defense. And honestly, with his height combined with his rebounding and passing skills and paint scoring ability is what makes him so good. Now I know he lacks in a 3-point jumper or even just a jumper in general, but in overtime he can fix that jumper, and that's what makes Ben Simmons such a great player in today's league. His rebounding, his passing, and his paint dominance on both the offense and defensive side. So, yep. At number 14, I have Paul George. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 24. Rebounds per game, 6.5. Assists per game, 5.4. Field goal percentage, 47.9. 3-point percentage, 42.9. And free throw percentage, 89.1. And his player comparison is Paul Pierce. And here are the reasons I have him at number 14, best player in the league. So his ability to move without the ball, play off screens without the ball, shoot the three ball so well, be a 3-level scorer, and on the defensive side, his ability to guard the 3-point ball so well. And honestly, this is what makes him such a great player in today's game. He has the ability to score on all 3 levels on the offensive side. His 3-point jumpers is really good, and the way he played alongside Kawhi he's probably Kawhi's best teammate. So I'm probably gonna say that Paul George shoots the three really well, and he's just all around such a great offensive player and a really great 3-point defender. So yeah, that's what makes him the 14th best player in the league. At number 13, I have Jason Tatum. Here are his season averages. 25.8 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game, 4.4 assists per game. Field goal percentage, 45.5, 38.5 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage, 86.9. And his player comparison is Kevin Durant. Now here are some of the reasons I have him at 13. So the reason I'm having him at 13 is his pull-up ability for the 3-point his ball handling skills in the mid-range area, and how physical he is when it comes to getting layups and contact dunks. And he can get better on the defensive side, but he has shown a lot of improvement when it comes to the mid-range area of the defense. So I do see a major strides coming in the future, coming towards his whole game, the whole defensive game. But honestly, he's such like a solid 3-point shooter. Really well, he shoots the mid-range really well, and how physical with contact in the paint is like. It's like there's no contact when it comes to him. It's like people around him. It's like he's shooting an open layup. It's like the man is skillful. He's just skillful. He reminds me a lot of Kevin Durant. It's like no one else is on the court but him at some moments in time. And this season he has a career high of 53 points. That hasn't been done for the Celtics since Larry Bird, scoring 50 plus. So I mean, the man Jason Tatum is talented in all levels of the offensive side, and on defense he can improve, but he's a really solid to slight average defender in this league. So yeah, that's why I have him at number 13. At number 12, I have Kyrie Irving. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 27.3. Rebounds per game, 5. Assists per game, 6.5. Field goal percentage, 50.7. 3-point percentage, 39.0. And free throw percentage, 92.3. And his player comparison is Allen Iverson. And here are some of the reasons I have him at number 12. So he has great ball handling skills on the offensive side. The way he creates, the way his fancy layups is crazy to watch. Him overall as a player is just crazy to watch. Like his ball handling, his shot creating, his shot making, his fadeaway game, and his crafty layups. This is all very fun to watch, and there hasn't been a player like that since Allen Iverson, in my opinion. And it's safe to say that maybe that Kyrie does have the best handles in the NBA, and maybe he probably has them of all time. Who knows? And the way he plays with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, and Joe Harris, and the rest of the team, and the rest of the Brooklyn Nets, they can make it to the finals easily. But winning the finals against the Lakers, that's we don't know. But yep, I believe Kyrie Irving on the offensive side is just ball dominant, and on the defensive side, he's decent on the defensive side. Could be better, but I like where he is overall in his whole entire game. That's why I have him at number 12. At number 11, I have Damian Lillard. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 28.4. Rebounds per game, 4.2. Assists per game, 7.5. Field goal percentage, 43.4. 3-point field goal percentage, 37.4. And free throw percentage, 92.3. And this player comparison is Chauncey Billups. And here are some reasons why I have him at number 11. First, his long-range shooting ability. I mean, he can shoot from half court really well. I mean, probably him and Stephen Curry are probably the two best half-court shooters in the league, or beyond 30 feet shooters in the league. So yeah, his shooting ability, his handles are nasty. The way he takes contact in the paint is crazy. His passing ability is really good. his defensive game, it's really, really solid on defense. And then Damian Lillard is just such a clutch shooter. And when it comes to clutch moments, he's probably like a top 5 clutch shooter in the league. There's only a few players in this league that I feel comfortable taking the last shot, and Damian Lillard is that. I'll say there's only like 5 players in the league I comfortably feel taking the last shot, and that's Damian Lillard. One of them is Damian Lillard. So in my opinion, Damian Lillard is probably a top 3 30-plus foot shooter and a top 5 clutch shooter in the NBA right now. That's what makes him the 11th best player in the NBA. To start my top 10, at number 10, I have Nikola Jokic. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 26.2. Rebounds per game, 10.9. Assists per game, 8.7. Field goal percentage, 56.8. 3-point field goal percentage, 40.5. And free throw percentage, 85.3. His player comparison is Dirk Nowitzki. Here are some of the reasons I have him in my top 10 at number 10. So, if you look at it, he's top 10 in every category. In every category, he's top 10 in almost every category there is. He has been in the MVP conversation the whole season, and he plays like a point guard in a big man's body. And I mean, he's just on the offensive side, he's just like a 7-foot point guard. I mean, the man is just unstoppable when it comes to facilitating the ball, passing the ball, and controlling an offense. I mean, in its fadeaway game, it's like still reminiscent of Dirk. It's just like Jokic is just like rebounding, passing, and scoring. He just does so really good. And I mean, he's just been improving every season. I mean, there's not one thing in Nikola Jokic's offense that he's not top 10 in statistical wise. So I'm going to have to say that he is the top 2 center in the league behind Embiid. He's top 2. And I have to say he's probably a top 3 all time in point guard centers. You know, centers that play like a point guard. He's probably top 3 in that. So yeah, that's why he's in my top 10. At number 9, I have Joel Embiid. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 30. Rebounds per game, 11.1. Assists per game, 3.1. Field goal percentage, 51.3. 3-point field goal percentage, 37.5. Free throw percentage, 85.1. In his player comparison, Hakeem Olajuwon. Here are some of the reasons I have him at number 9. First, his shot blocking ability on the defensive side is really, really, really good. His rebounding is really, 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 really good. His 3-point shooting is decent. It's like decent to solid type 3-point shot. His fadeaway / mid-range is really good. And his paint dominance on both sides of the ball is really, really, really good. So, overall, Joel Embiid in the current day NBA is the most dominant big man. Current day, most dominant big man. Current day, probably said top 5 shot blocker in the league right now. Top 5. Not number 1, but he's top 5. And I do have to say, him and Ben Simmons are a really, 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 really good duo. video coming soon on top 5 duos in the NBA. Watch out for that. So, yeah. That's why he's the 5th best. That's why he's the 9th best player in the league. At number 8, I have Luka Doncic. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 28.6. Rebounds per game, 7.9. Assists per game, 8.7. Field goal percentage, 48.5. 3-point field goal percentage, 35.9. Free throw percentage, 73. And this player comparison is LeBron James. And here are the reasons I have him at number 8. For one, his step back is really good, and the way he creates space for himself on the court when he's trapped on double teams, or the way he finds open teammates is really good, and his rebounding on both sides of the ball is good, really good, and it's just overall playmaking ability on the offensive side. The passing, he can find open teammates, he can rebound the ball, he can start the whole offense and finish the whole offense if he needs to. He's just an overall really good player, like offensively. When it comes to creating space, his step back, his rebounding, and his passing, the way he moves the Mavericks offense, him and Porzingis are a good duo. So now I know he could improve on defense, but that can take time over his career. But offensively, when it comes to playmaking, passing, rebounding, and creating space for himself in double teams, it's just all really good. So, yep, that's why I have him at number 8. At number 7, I have Anthony Davis. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 21.6. Rebounds per game, 7.9. Assists per game, 2.9. Field goal percentage, 51.2. 3-point field goal percentage, 27. And free throw percentage, 70.9. And this player comparison is Kevin Garnett. And here are the reasons I have him at number 7. Now, I know he was injured for 31 games throughout the season. But I'm going based off of when they're healthy and how they play. Okay? So he's better than the players I had in the list before him. So, the other reason I have him at number 7 is because his shot blocking ability on the defensive side, the way he can guard any big man and any forward on the defensive side is really extraordinarily great on how he does that. And then on the offensive side, the way he sets screens, moves to the paint off the screen. When he sets a screen, his fadeaway mid-range jumper is really smooth. His paint dominance when it comes to scoring in the paint is really good to watch. And his overall paint dominance on both sides of the ball is just like, it's just really fun to watch him play in the paint. And his fadeaway jumper is really good. His defending abilities are really good. So that's why I have him at number 7. At number 6, I have Kawhi Leonard. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 25.7. Rebounds per game, 6.7. Assists per game, 5.1. Field goal percentage, 51.6. 3-point field goal percentage, 39.3. And free throw percentage, 87.8. And this player comparison is Scottie Pippen. And here's some of the reasons I have him at number 6. So I know his load management is a problem and he needs to get that fixed. About this load management thing with him. So the reasons I have him at number 6 is his defense, his ability to guard all 5 positions, his shot blocking ability, and his hand size is what makes his shot blocking ability so good. His ability to guard all 5 positions, and then on the offensive side, his ability to shoot the ball so efficiently well. It's like Kawhi. And then when it comes to constructing an offense, and playing like an off-ball raw, he can play without the ball. He's just like a little crafty guy on the court who can play off the ball and who's like really efficient and is like quick to finding open spots on the court, and he's a really efficient offensive player. And on the defensive side, to be honest, I don't know if there's a position he can't guard on the court. He can guard point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. Like, he can guard any position, and he's really efficient on offense with or without the ball on any level of the offense. So that's why I have him at number 6. To start the top 5, at number 5, I have James Harden. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 25.2. Rebounds per game, 8. Assists per game, 10.9. Field goal percentage, 46.3. 3-point field goal percentage, 35.8. And free throw percentage, 87. And this player comparison is Tracy McGrady. And here are some of the reasons I have him in my top 5 at 5. To start off, he gets triple doubles a lot. When it comes to getting triple doubles, he's good. He's really good at that. Passing the ball, he has good vision in the court to find open players. His step back is the best in the current game. He has the best step back in the current NBA. And the way he draws fouls is really good. The way he makes tough layups is really good. The way he just can lead the team to victory is really good. On defense, he needs to work on his defense a lot. But offensively, when it comes towards passing the ball, rebounding the ball, he does exceptionally well. Shooting the ball is good. Drawing contact is good for him. Getting fouled is a really strong thing of him. And just ball handling, ball dominance, step back shooting, getting contact, drawing contact, getting fouled. It's just like he's just that type of player to lead an offense and do everything a coach needs him to do when it comes to making shots, getting fouled, and passing the ball. So yep, that's why I have him in my top 5 at 5. At number 4, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 28.5. Rebounds per game, 11.1. Assists per game, 5.9. Field goal percentage, 56.2. Field goal 3-point percentage, 31.4. And free throw percentage, 68.5. And his player comparison is Shaquille O'Neal. And here are some of the reasons I have him at number 4. Started off, his paint dominance on both offense and defensive side are really good. His mid-range shooting is really good. His 3-point shooting could use some work. He needs help on his 3-point shooting. But so So I would say on defensively, he is really good. He can guard all 5 positions on the court. He can block. He can block shots. He can defend over 5 positions. It's like on defense, he is perfect. Guard all 5 and block shots when he wants to, when he feels like it. In the offensive side, his playmaking when it comes to setting up the offense, being the leader, and making sure the ball gets scored. Because when it comes to rebounding, his physical dominance in paint, when it comes to grabbing the rebound, putting it back up, drawing contact, getting fouled. It's like he's just so physically dominant in the paint. His mid-range jumper is decent. His three-point jumper needs some work. When it comes to the paint on the offensive side, rebounding it, putbacks, dunks, layups, he can't be stopped at doing that. So that's why I have him at number 4. To start the top 3, at 3, I have Wardell Stephen Curry. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 31.6. Rebounds per game, 5.5. Assists per game, 5.8. Field goal percentage, 48.6. 3-point field goal percentage, 42.6. And free throw percentage, 91.4. In his player comparison is Steve Nash. And here are some of the reasons I have him in my top 3 at 3. So, his shooting ability is out this world. He can shoot from full court, half court, 3-point line, layup, mid-range, anywhere on the court. He shoots it, it's going in. I mean, he is the best 3-point shooter of all time. And then combining with his crazy handles, his eye-opening passing ability, and how he moves around the offensive side of the ball to find open spots. He can just shoot so effortlessly. Now on defense, he is solid when it comes to guarding the point guard and guards, but any other position he lacks really hard in. But I say guarding the 1 and 2s on defense, he's really good at that. But his offense is just so beautiful to watch. His shooting ability, his catch and shoot ability, his high floater he does, his passing ability is decent. His rebounding for his size is really good. He's just an all-around the best 3-point shooter of all time. And that's all you can say about Curry. He's the best 3-point shooter. He has crazy good handles, and his passing ability on offense is really good. And just his offensive movement when it comes to catching and shooting, moving off screens without the ball, moving on the court without ball, so well. So he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. That's why I have him in my top 3 at 3. At number 2, I have Kevin Durant. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 28.2. Rebounds per game, 7.1. Assists per game, 5.2. Field goal percentage, 54.1. 3-point field goal percentage, 46.9. And free throw percentage, 88.1. And his play comparison is Larry Bird. And here's some of the reasons I have him at 2. His pull-up ability when it comes from dribbling the ball up court and shooting a straight-up three-pointer. He can shoot from 30 plus with easily. He's a great ISO player. Maybe the greatest, maybe the best in the league right now, but that's a different video. He's a great ISO player. He's great when it comes from driving in the lane, from easy open layups and dunks into contact layups and dunks. He can score with contact going to the hoop and without contact going to the hoop. He can score on anyone, anybody with his size up ability, pull up ability. I mean, he can score on anyone in the court. His fadeaway ability is really good. I mean, his dribbling to get into open space is really good. For a 7 foot forward, he has to have the best handles for a 7 foot plus NBA player in the league currently. Because the man is 7 foot. It might say that he's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" on the internet, but the man, compared to some 7-footers, he looks like he's 7 foot. The man has shooting ability from 30 plus. The man has size up ability, pull up ability. He can shoot over anyone, and he can defend all forwards, power forwards, and centers. So I mean, he can defend forwards, small forwards, and centers. So I mean, that's why I have him at 2. At number 1, the best player in the NBA, I have LeBron King James. Here are his season averages. Points per game, 25. Rebounds per game, 7.9. Assists per game, 7.8. Field goal percentage, 51.3. 3-point field goal percentage, 36.6. And free throw percentage, 70.1. And here, in this player comparison, is Michael Jordan. And here are some of the reasons I have him at number 1. So, his physical dominance on both offense and defense, his leadership ability, on all over the court, his leadership ability. Him on the bench, his voice on the bench, and how he controls the team and helps the team out. Even when he's injured, he's helping the team out do what they need to do in the court. I mean, the man's passing ability, he plays like a point guard, but he plays small. He's like a point forward. He plays like a point guard. He can rebound like a center. He defends centers like he is a center himself. He's just an all-around great talent. His rebounding is really well. His passing is really beautiful to watch. I mean, the way he creates players and makes those passes is just really fun to watch. You can just watch a whole 10-minute comp. You can watch a whole 10-minute comp on YouTube of him passing and not get bored. I mean, his rebounding is good. His shooting ability could use some work, but where he is at his stage of career is really fun to watch. I mean, and he can guard any position on the court. I mean, he can guard any position on the court. And I mean, his rebounding, his scoring ability, he's just so physically dominant when it comes to scoring. No one can guard him. So that's why I have him at number 1. This is the outro. Hope you enjoyed the video. Because you did if you made it this far. I mean, shit. So I hope you leave a like. I hope you leave a comment. And I hope you subscribe. So, see you in next video.